displaying the glory of God's creation by exploring America one park at a time. Welcome to Parking Full Time with Big Dave, the park's professor. 10th hole. The par and distance are at the top of the screen. The 10th tee and the first tee are both near the group lodge, and the next 5 holes head down and up this same hillside in spaghetti-type fashion. In this hole, we're going downhill. This hole is also a slight dogleg left, so you'll need a slight right to left disc flight in order to get down close to the basket. There's also a steep drop-off behind the basket down to a stream, so you have to factor the downhill into your distance calculation and make sure you don't overthrow on this hole. There's the 10th basket, and there's the view back uphill to the tee from behind the basket. The 11th hole plays back up the hill. This hole is straighter than the previous hole, and you'll need at most a slight left to right disc flight to get through the biggest gap in the trees on this hole. This hole is quite steeply uphill, and this ravine plus the ravine that we saw on the front 9 give this course a lot more elevation than you might expect for Louisiana. I do want to welcome you back to Parking Full Time. I am Big Dave, the park's professor. We are at Lake D'Arbonne State Park, and therefore we're in northern Louisiana near Monroe, Louisiana. There's the view back downhill to the tee. The 12th hole plays back down the hill. This hole's about 40 feet longer than the previous hole, but because of the hill, it really doesn't play that much longer. This hole's also a double dogleg. First a dogleg to the right, and then right up close to the basket, a dogleg back to the left. Because of the dogleg, this fairway also has a decent cross slope from right to left. And as you look around here, you can see that there's also a decent bit of shrubs in the understory. We just jumped down a steep spot. We also just passed a yellow blaze for a hiking trail. A lot of the fairways on this course were laid out to coincide with pre-existing park construction such as hiking trails or power lines. While laying out a course that way saves on construction labor, it doesn't always make for the best disc golf, and also it creates conflicts with other park users such as hikers. So that's one of the downsides to this course. The 13th hole plays straight back up the hill. It is a slight dogleg left, but this fairway is wide enough and straight enough that a good throw should lead to a birdie opportunity. That's the park's group lodge that you see behind the basket. This is a very nice park with a lot of nice scenery and a lot of nice amenities. There's the view back downhill to the tee. The 14th hole plays down into the ravine for one final time. It is a slight dogleg right, but the dogleg is very close to the tee, so it's going to take an unusual disc flight in order to get around that dogleg and set up a birdie opportunity. This hole is a bit of a challenge, but maybe it's not a real fun kind of challenge. I captured this video on Monday, February 24th, and it was a beautiful day with temperatures in the upper 50s when I came here. In spite of the weather, I was the only player on the disc golf course when I came here. This course doesn't seem to get a lot of use. The 15th hole plays down and up across a ravine. It's similar to the 8th hole, but the ravine here is much more gradually sloped than the one on that hole. Yes, that is a hiking trail bridge here at the bottom of the ravine, and this is another hole that is laid out basically in conjunction with the hiking trail. This is a fairly tight hole, but it's a par 4, and therefore birdie is still very manageable. In my opinion, some of the pars on this course are a little higher than they probably ought to be. As we get up close to the basket, you're going to see a down tree here right behind the basket. I did notice some course maintenance issues when I came here, including that down tree, also some shrubs and some dense leaf litter in the understory, and also there was a missing basket on the front 9 on hole number 5. The 16th hole plays back uphill out of the ravine. It's pretty straight, it's pretty tight, and honestly it's pretty uninspiring. To get to the 17th tee, you have to walk behind the 16th basket, and then turn left on the park road. Where the park road splits, if you look between the splits, you'll find a 17th tee. There are a couple of spots where I had a little trouble navigating the course, and so when you pay the park entrance fee on your way in, ask for a course map and that'll help you navigate around the course. The 17th hole plays uphill to the highest point on the course. This is another hole that coincides with a hiking trail. It's a dogleg left, but the dogleg is almost 300 feet from the tee, and so you might end up playing 2 more or less straight throws in order to get around that dogleg. I want to take the length of this hole as an opportunity to thank you for watching. Parking full time would not be anything without the people who watch. I realize that every day, and I thank you every day. Also, as a reminder, I took a vow many years ago not to make any monetary compensation for anything I do for this project, and I have held to that vow. And so therefore, all I get for doing these videos and writing these course reviews are your likes, your subscribes, your views, and your comments, and I do appreciate all of those things. Here's the basket. This fairway is wide enough that a couple of good throws should get you up to the basket and set up a birdie opportunity. The 18th hole plays back downhill. It is a sharp dogleg to the left, so you'll need a good right to left throw in order to get around that dogleg and set up a birdie opportunity. After all of the rather soft par 4s and par 5s, this is actually a pretty nice challenging par 3 to close. Overall, this is a decent course. It's got some maintenance issues, it's got some safety issues. It gets a little repetitive with all of the dense woods and the up and down of the same ravines. And there aren't any holes here that are really memorable, but if you come to this park to hike or fish or camp, then it's certainly worth playing around here. That is the end of the course. Have a great afternoon, take care, and Lord bless.